Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the show to do NFL news. We're running to it here. So, Brown, trending! Brown star pass rusher Myles Garrett. He says the team is closer to contention than most people think. I've talked to the GM, Andrew Berry, about how we're going to make the most out of the talent that is here. We're closer than some may think we are. Garrett will only stay in Cleveland if they can sell him on a plan to compete now and avoid a rebuild. Well, I hate to tell you, Mr. Myles Garrett, but I do not think the Browns are close to contending. They're closer to a full-on rebuild than they are to making the playoffs. Yes, they went 11-6 the season before with like 5 different quarterbacks, but yes, they went 11-6 the year before, but I don't know if they're close to contending to be a contender in the AFC for like a Super Bowl. Sorry. Unless they make some drastic moves. Dude's going to waste his career with Cleveland. So, Purdy report with the Steelers. Hashtag Steelers quarterback Russell Wilson and offensive coordinator Arthur Smith, they reportedly had trouble working with one another, with unsubstantiated rumors that Smith preferred Justin Fields, per Mark Kaboly. Reports surfaced during the year that offensive coordinator Arthur Smith preferred Fields over Wilson, but that was never substantiated. Still, despite Wilson and Smith spending countless hours watching after the typical workday, watching film and publicly joking about it, a team source recently said that Wilson and Smith did not have a very good working relationship, but fought through their differences as best they could. Yes. Some drama. Has any QB had an easy time working with Arthur Smith? I don't know. Arthur Smith I guess he liked that Justin Fields is young and he has mobility that can clearly fit more into his scheme and what he wanted to run. I didn't think Russell Wilson was that bad, but yeah, he's just not the quarterback going forward. Tommy! With the Steelers. But I guess they're going to run it back next year, but I don't know if Arthur Smith's going to take a head coaching job, so we'll have to see what happens there. So Buccaneers veteran linebacker Lavonte David says he has no timeline in regards to whether or not he will play in 2025, he told at Pewter Report. He's got a ring, he's got pay, he's been with the same team for 13 years. If this is the end of his career, then he had a great career. So Kevin O'Connell, the Vikings head coach, says he appreciates Sam Darnold, but says things didn't work out in the end. He was good throughout most of the season, but the last 2 games he sucked. So basically he's saying Sam Darnold won't be back. So on the Up and Adams show, Davante Adams, a quote on it, said, "It's looking right now like they might need some receiver help in one way or the other. Maybe a veteran or something, we'll see." No way he goes back to the Packers, man. This motherfucker wanted to get out, and he goes to the Jets, and they suck. So the Steelers, Purdy report, have yet to make a decision on the futures of QBs Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, per head coach Mike Tomlin. "We don't have a quarterback under contract. We are certainly open to considering those guys, but we have a lot of work ahead of us." I don't think they're bringing Wilson back. We'll just see. I don't know what they do at this point, quarterback. They're just kind of sticky situation. So Purdy report, my Cowboys defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer is contemplating retirement, according to ESPN. He was head coach of the Vikings from 2014 to 2021 and is 68 years old. Well, he just got married, so this makes sense. He got married, so yeah, it makes sense. Turn down through here. So, Penn State star edge rusher Abdul Carter says it would be his dream to get drafted by the Eagles. Yeah, for sure, playing for the Eagles would definitely be a dream of mine. Well, I don't think it's going to happen, buddy. So, Chargers cornerback Asante Samuel Jr. is set to hit free agency this offseason. Says he's hoping to return to the Chargers. Yeah, Chargers really need him back. We'll see if he does stay back. He has injury issues and inconsistency, but we'll see. Superior report, Rams tight end Tyler Higbee went to the hospital last night after he was after he was spitting up blood, per Mike Garofalo. He traveled back home with the team and is actually expected to play in the divisional round against the Eagles. That dude can't catch a break. So, former Texans wide receiver, Deontay Johnson, he was reportedly angry. Or former Ravens, Steelers receiver, whatever. I don't know if he's on the fucking Texans. I think he is. He was reportedly angry in the locker room after the team's playoff win, likely due to a lack of involvement on offense. This dude's been in Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and Houston. Like, is this guy never happy with a win? Like, ladies and gentlemen, this guy is like terrible teammate. Man, he really managed to tank his free agency value in months. So rumors, Lions coordinators Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn are both expected to take head coaching jobs this cycle, per Adam Schefter. I mean, the Lions better take care of business this year. I still think they'll be a good team without those guys. He has a really good quarterback, 2 good running backs, a wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, and a good tight end, a good offensive line. I think Dan Campbell's team will be fine. But I just kind of don't understand this, because in a very good place right now, why bump up and lose all that with them, man? Like, to go to 2 probably worse situations. So the Texans released wide receiver Deontay Johnson. Well, yeah, he did get released. Well, not surprised. So my Cowboys, Deion Sanders, baby, is considered a top candidate for the Cowboys head coaching job, per Schultz report. Owner Jerry Jones and Deion Sanders have been in communication. Yeah, sure, it's not going to happen. The only way it's going to happen is if Jerry Jones stays doing his thing as the general manager and let Deion coach, but we'll see. But Troy Aikman, he had some comments. He doesn't think the Cowboys' opening head coach will be a conveyed job to Jerry Jones, not relinquishing power. Basically is what he said. And he's right, man. We're cooked. I mean, I don't know who will get it head coach. Will never be good until Jerry Jones gives up at GM. He's terrible at it and never takes accountability for it. Accountability for the roster. Drew Lawrence, some NFL draft news. He's not going to the NFL draft. He's staying at Penn State next year. And also, the running backs, Katron Allen and Nick Singleton will be returning to Penn State next year. So those 3 players will be back. Russell Wilson says the plan is to return to the Steelers in 2025. Packers star cornerback Jay Alexander says he's unsure of his future with the team. He told Kelly Halls. Packers need secondary help. Even worse, if he leaves, they need secondary help bad. Some more NFL draft news. Matthew Golden's preparing for the draft. Texas wide receiver. He might be I think he'll be a second round guy, mid-second, through the second or fourth rounds. Former Cowboys tight end Jason Witten is a candidate for the team's vacancy head coach. That would have been all-time random hiring. I mean, I think I talked about that the other day, but it's kind of random. Steelers running back Najee Harris says the team let the media's criticism infiltrate. How the fuck you say that word? Their locker room, he told Taylor Rooks. I think they were flushed all together by the high pressure. Like, the losing streak was bad, but yeah, just everything went wrong. I know Mr. 2 yards per carry isn't talking. Mr. 2.1 or 3 yards per carry. So, star linebacker Fred Warner says Brock Purdy will win multiple Super Bowls. He ain't got one yet. Calm down there, Mr. Warner. Yeah, that's all I gotta talk about for JPA football. So let's get right into some more stuff from Shefty. This one was reposted. Chicago Bears confirmed they've completed an interview with head coach candidate David Shaw, the Stanford head coach. Man, they're interviewing fucking everybody at this point. So yeah, David Shaw is the latest guy to be interviewed. So with the Kansas City Chiefs among the highlights, I guess Miko Hardman was limited in practice. The guys that were full participants, DJ Humphries, Patrick Mahomes, Trent McDuffie, Isaiah Pacheco, Jalen Watson, Chris Jones, they were all full participants, so they're going to play. I guess one to watch for the Texans on their injury report was Azeez Al-Shaair. Oh no. Anyways. The Raiders have requested permission to speak with Steelers Director of Pro Personnel Sheldon White for their vacant GM, source said, a well-respected member of their department. So two big injury updates for Detroit. Today, during their estimated practice, David Montgomery was a full participant. Terrion Arnold was a full participant. Those guys being full participants, they should be able to play against Washington. So the Eagles have signed Paris Campbell, wide receiver, to the active roster. They placed Nakobe Dean on injured reserve because of his significant knee injury. So we'll see how their defense looks without Nakobe Dean. I still think they'll be fine, but it's going to be something to watch. The Browns are promoting Tommy Rees to offensive coordinator per sources, a former Notre Dame star QB. He becomes one of the NFL's youngest coordinators at age 32. He previously had stints at Notre Dame and Alabama as offensive coordinator and QB coach before joining Kevin Stefanski's staff last year. I think it's a very good move. I think Tommy Rees is a very good offensive mind. I really do. I really think he can help their offense. I'm not saying it's going to be great, but I think it's going to be better than it was this past season. So yeah, makes total sense. The Bears interview with Mike McCarthy is now set for Wednesday per sources. After parting ways, and he has interest in multiple things, but the Bears, he's beaten more times than any other NFL team, gets the first crack. So, and he's also expected to speak with the Saints early next week. No firm date established, but he's going to be interviewing with the Bears and the Saints. The longtime NFL defensive coordinator Wink Martindale scheduled to interview. He interviewed with the Falcons today and the Colts on Wednesday. Per sources, the Bengals also could have interest in Martindale, who is college football's highest-paid coordinator at Michigan, which is one to watch. I mean, maybe they could help one of these teams, but we'll see. The Raiders have begun submitting slips to their vacant GM job, and Packers VP of Player Personnel John Eric Sullivan has received a request to interview, source said. And the Packers QB's coach is retiring. Okay. So the Titans are bringing back several candidates for a second round of interviews for their vacant GM job. Among them are Mike Bergonzi, the Chiefs assistant, Bucs assistant GM John Spytek, and Bears assistant GM Ian Cunningham. And there will be several others. So a good list of candidates, but I don't know about the Bears. Colts assistant GM Ed Dodds is getting a second interview per source, and Bills exec Terrence Gray is expected to be on the list as well. And the Titans are also bringing Packers VP of Player Personnel John Eric Sullivan for a second interview. And the 49ers interviewed Broncos assistant special teams coach Chris Banjo for their special team coordinator job. Source said the 2 years into his coaching career, after a 10-year stint as a DB and a special teamer, he's getting looks to advance. The New York Jets have completed an interview with Jeff Ulbrich for their head coach position, the interim coach. We'll see if... Oh my god, they're being trolled. They're being trolled at this point. Like, come on. That interview should have just took like a few minutes. Like, they ain't hiring this motherfucker back. There's no way. New York Jets have completed an interview with Brian Gainey for their general manager position. Seems right. On an in-division request, the Bears requested a head coach interview with Packers offensive coordinator Adam Stanovich. They have no idea what they're doing at this point, dude. Like, a second interview in Tennessee. Bills director of player personnel Terrence Gray is expected to get a second GM interview this week with the Titans, per source. I believe Isaiah Bond is also entering the NFL draft. Some NFL draft news there. But I think it's all the NFL news to talk about. So, yeah, peace.